And all right, well, please, Jasmina, introduce yourself properly and tell us about your work and lead us through this workshop.
Okay. Hello, Eric. Hello to you all. Maybe you were yesterday, because yesterday I was telling one story, one fairy tale, Eskimo fairy tale. But now I would like to do a workshop with you and to share one Croatian folk tale, in fact, Croatian folk fairy tale that I like very much, and to say something about creative storytelling and about therapeutic power in Croatian tales as well. But first of all, maybe now it's a moment to say about something about myself, because it's usually I just say something about tale, and I like without introductions to tell a story. But maybe I think that my way is interesting, because my basic education is teaching. So I have a degree on primary teaching, but I didn't find a permanent job, and acting was in fact my preoccupation, and drama education as well. So I have lots of, let's say, informal education, because I was attending lots of workshops and education in Croatia and abroad as well. And I became actress in a youth theater here in Split, and the drama pedagogue there as well for 7 years. After that, I quit that job and I became a freelancer. So I'm doing lots of my projects in libraries, museums, galleries, festivals, and I'm doing art of storytelling. Here in Croatia, maybe we are not aware of the thing that storytelling is art, and pedagogy is also art for me. So I know that world of artists, and I know that world of pedagogues. There are always prejudice between them. I cannot understand that, but okay. Now I'm also one of the really great educators in first Croatian storytelling school. We have first Croatian storytelling school in Zagreb and Varaždin, and I'm very glad that today I have my storytelling sisters here, Andrea, Elizabeta Alkovic, and Mariana Marvoš. In fact, they are my students and they are supporting me and I'm supporting them. It's all about supporting and sharing. And I like learning very much. I like listening. I'm very interested, and I was doing also forum theater of oppressed, and storytelling, creative storytelling. And I'm looking forward to say something about Croatian tales. Slavic mythology is one very, very interesting and unknown area. And I'm also I'm learning about that, and it's very interesting. But although I now will present one fairy tale, but it's Croatian, but there is also Hungary version that I discovered. I have one radio show here in Split dedicated to storytelling. So while I was preparing myself, I found this story and I found it very interesting. There is a king in there, Jennifer, and there is a king, but also other characters, all of us, as you said. I agree. So after that story, I have a surprise for you. And of course, we will do some exercise in a Zoom room if you want. So let's tell a story. Fairy's flute. Once upon a time, there was one older couple, and they lost his son and his wife. So they were left with 2 grandchildren. They were too old and the children were too young. They were suffering, and they didn't have anything to eat. So almost every day they asked grandma a piece of bread. And the grandma always say, my poor ones, there's no bread. There's nothing to eat. But the children didn't understand that, so they kept crying. And grandpa said one day, why stay here and starve? You should go and serve the king. So they left the house. And after long journey, they finally found king's court. And then king asked them, why did you come to me, dear children? You are so tiny and thin. You cannot do anything. You should go back when you came from. Go home. Go home. Yes, we can. We can do anything. We can do any job, they said. Oh, all right. You can stay. But if you fail to do what I order, I will throw you into prison. I'm not joking. I'm a king. So they were very afraid and they regretted coming. But then the older one said, let's go to the creek and drink some water and take rest from a journey. And after that, who knows, maybe God will help us. And they went to the creek and they drank water and then they heard some strange noise, like somebody was crying. And they finally saw over there a young, beautiful woman with a long gold hair. And she was crying because she was trapped. Her long hair was tangled into a thorny bush and she couldn't move. So they helped free her. And she was very grateful. She was delighted. So she said, thank you, children. I can see that you are poor, so I would like to give you something. I will give you a flute. So every time when you are in need, you just blow in it. Okay? Was that a fairy? What do you think? Was that a fairy? And when they came back to the court, then King said, if you finish by noon what I tell you to do, I'll give you as many golden coins as you can carry. But if you fail to, you know what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Oh, yes, how clever you are. And then he took a big bag full of grain, and then he threw a heap of grain all over the place, all over the hole, and he ordered them to pick the grain up only using their fingers, and then he left. He said, okay, but now I will give you another task so that you can earn the coins. Can you see this big river? He said. You have to build a bridge across the river till tomorrow morning. And he left. But they were calm because they knew they have a flute, fairy's flute. They blew into it. And in that moment, two white pigeons, two pure white pigeons arrived. So they told pigeons what they need. And tomorrow morning, there was a gorgeous bridge across the river. And then the king came and he was really pleased. But he was thinking, it would be really nice and it would be very useful to have these wonder children, wonder workers at the court. So he said, okay, I will give you the coins and you can stay at the court. No, we will not, they said. We won't go home, so give us our coins and let us go to our grandparents. They are old, they are starving, and they are probably worried about us. What? You are refusing to serve honorable king? He was angry. Your Majesty, if you are so honorable, give us our coins and let us go. Just like we knew how to pick the grain and how to build the bridge, we will know how to get rid of king's privileges, older one added. So the king realized that it's better not to meddle with these children. So he gave them coins, as many golden coins as they could carry, and he let them go. And when they come back to their grandparents, they were very happy. And the first thing that they did, they asked pigeons to set the table with plenty of food for their grandparents. So this is a story about Ferris flute, and I hope that you like it. And maybe if somebody wants to say something about this fairy tale, you are free to do that.
Jasmina, may I?
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
No, let Marina go ahead.
I think it's a beautiful story, and you told it beautiful, and you were really, really listening in yourself and us, taking in us, and the story with this fascinated me, and I was thinking of the story about the Baba Yaga stories. And when she has, with her little doll, when she has to feed her little doll, the daughter who has lost her mother, and how the doll helps her to make the work, to collect the seeds, to separate the seeds, and all that the witch Baba Yaga tells her to do. And of course, there's also similarity in Sweden, Prince Hut under earth, or the story about when Aphrodite is punishing, I don't know, remember the name, but it's the girl who is in love with Eros. It's in the underworld. There is also this challenge with the seeds that you have to catch and separate, and in different ways. So lovely story. Thank you.
Thank you, Marina. Yes, the grain, the metaphor of seed, of grains, it's very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, but also the helpers, the way of the helpers. So as for, what's the name of the girl in Baba Yaga? I just lost it.
Vasilisa.
Yeah, Vasilisa. I mean, the mother that gives her the doll, and you have to feed the doll. So here you get the flute, and because they help that fairy, and when they use this, the pigeons come. I think that's a lovely theme of the helpers coming to us.
Yes, we have lots of stories about magic flute or magic instruments in Indian stories. Also, magic violin. I found that story very interesting, and also about sound and about the helpers. We can say who is obstacle, who is helper. Maybe in the same time, the same character, of course, can be obstacle and the helper. Let's think about king and so on. But if somebody else wants to say something, or we will proceed. I cannot see. Eric, can you help me, please?
Just one thing. I was also thinking about Vasilisa.
Yeah.
I have my little Vasilisa doll right beside me at all times. And I think the use of a transitional object was, it was really lovely how you did it, because at all times, every time there was the flute there, I thought, oh, are you going to play it? And then you didn't. But that was really lovely as well, because it was just like, it let my imagination play it. Because it would have been quite easy just to learn how to play the flute and do a lovely tune. And because it was just there, but just how I really liked the fact that you didn't play it until the very end. But it just let my imagination play it for me. So I loved the telling, I really did. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. You understand well. I like to motivate. I like to motivate imagination. And in the end, in fact, I played a little bit this instrument. In fact, it is one of traditional Croatian instruments. Before Corona, during patron of Split, Sveti Duje, we have one celebration where you can buy wooden instruments, always in same colors, so red, blue, a little bit of white or black. They are also made in North Croatia, but they are this is one of them. They are very interesting. But I would like to show you the instruments that I use during creative storytelling. I would like to say this: creative storytelling is open to different objects, different magic helpers. So you can use dance, you can use music, you can use, I don't know, maybe a candle. I used a candle, a lamp yesterday. So it depends about you. It is important that you are authentic, that you feel the story, that you breathe with that story, that you analyze, of course, text, and every day that you read that story, because every story has its atmosphere, and it's not equal. Every storyteller have its approach. So please don't judge. Don't judge storytellers, don't judge any character. I was working on myself very much, because I noticed, because I was listening my storytelling about the raven and about burning the whale's heart. I'm telling now about yesterday's story. And I noticed that that sound of my voice is not good, because I'm judging a raven during my storytelling, and that's not good. No. And then maybe if you were listening yesterday, I repeat the raven's words. He wanted to say that he was sorry, but for what he had done. But there was no one to apologize to. The damage was already done. And the second time that I speak, that I tell that, I'm thinking of myself. Instead of, I didn't change he, I didn't substitute he, I, but I'm thinking of myself, because of course I made lots of mistakes. And that helped me. That is my invention during a storytelling. because it's not good, of course, in acting and also in storytelling to judge characters. Just as you mentioned, Jennifer, we are all everything, every character. But what I want to say, be authentic, don't judge. Listen to your colleagues, listen to story, listen what that fairy tale is telling you. Maybe yesterday I was, I don't know, silent, gentle. Today, maybe this is dramatic approach, I don't know. In fact, I don't think about that. I'm just doing what the story tells me. This is, for example, pan flute. I'm using also instruments of warp during my sessions with adults, but also with children. Or, for example, it depends about story. What is sound? Tibetan bow. Or a triangle. Maybe when king came at noon. Or you can motivate adults or children as well to recycle, to do some instruments, grains, different kind of grains, of the oven. Or, of course, to use their body as instruments, not only the voice, of course. So, whatever. That's important. And I was thinking that in this story, you can in fact make a point and finish a story if you want to make it tragic. But if you can think about that creak and about that pause, when elder child, it is not written to girls or to boys or boy and girl, just older or younger. That's very important. That's very interesting. So when one child said, okay, let's go to drink some water, I found that in the Zen stories. Just take a break. Just drink water. We will see. God will help us. Let's put that in God's hands. But very, very interesting moment. But what I would like to do now, if Eric is ready with with sharing a document, if it's okay, I would like to give you this story. You can use it in your life, in your work, whatever you want, but it will help you now with this exercise. Eric, do you have maybe a Ferris flute?
Shall I do share screen?
Yes, if it's okay with you now. So, so my idea is that we divide participants in Zoom rooms in pairs. You will have like a reminder this story, Ferris flute. And the first exercise would be to put yourself in someone else's shoes. In fact, to retell the other person this story, but as a king or as a child. I don't know, girl or boy. So in a pair, one of you will retell this story, for example, as grandma. The other one will just listen, creative listening, without judging, without questions, without anything. For us in Croatia, it's very hard, especially in Split, because we like to talk very loud, too much. Okay, and after that, the other person will tell the same story, but from the shoe of, for example, I don't know, one child. Be careful and don't be a god to see everything. For example, if you are grandma, you don't know what was happened when the children left. Maybe grandma hear the rumors about the children that they are good or they are in danger, so whatever. But at the end, she knows only that the children came and that they are happy, they have a float. Okay, after that, you are free to ask your partner questions, any questions that you like. But from the shoe of your character. And of course, your partner too. I hope that I'm clear and that you are ready.
Let me
Renu is smiling. Mariana too. Eric, tell me.
let me try to repeat.
Okay.
When they go into the breakout rooms, the one person will tell part of the story from one character's point of view, or tell the complete story?
It's a short story. I think that it would be nice, the whole story maybe.
Okay, so one can tell it from the king's point of view, one can tell it from the older child's point of view. I think those are the basic 2 points of view.
I think, Eric, that it would be nice that every person choose a character. We have also fairy, we have grandma, grandpa, children, and the king. So I think that it would be nice to,
Okay.
yeah.
So they can choose a character, and so okay, so each one of them tells the story from the different point of view, and then what happens?
Yeah, afterwards they can communicate, but as those characters. So one person can make a question, anything. For example, king can ask grandma, do you think that it's okay that you throw away your children from a house? What do you think about that? I don't know, whatever you want, whatever you want. So imagine that you are king or that you are grandma. You can speak about feelings. Why we are doing that? There are lots of senses. It's important in life to see a situation from different state of mind, from different angles. And before Corona, I asked participants on my workshop to exchange a sweater, to exchange foods, to exchange shoes, if that is okay with them. Why? Try really, literally, to make a step in some other shoes. Do you know what's that? Oh, okay. I think that it's very important in life, in our everyday life, but also it's very important in storytelling and as well in drama, not to judge a character. And you will, this is a good exercise to make a compact character and not to judge. Try to understand, try to exchange the roles, try to be king, try to be a child. We are all child, we are wandering around and so on and so on. So that is the point, if you are
okay,
with me.
Perhaps let me show the story again. But once they go into breakout rooms, I don't know how to show them the document, but here, let's take a look at it anyway.
Okay.
Can most people see it? Once upon a time, an elderly couple lost their son and his wife. Is it visible to, it's okay?
Yes, it's visible.
So I think let's just go through it quickly, and then people will have to remember it. So so there's no bread, and the children I guess so. It's the grandfather's idea. It's the grandfather's idea that the children should go and serve the king.
Yes. Maybe, Eric, maybe it's not so important that we have any detail of this story, although it's a short story, but maybe it's important just to try to say the story from someone else's shoes, if it's okay with you.
All right, well, let me just review it for a moment before we send them off. So the children go away, and they go to the king's castle, and then they go to the river, or the creek, and there they see the lady who's caught in the thorns, and they rescue her. They help her untangle from the thorns, and she says she'll give the flute. Just blow in it when you are in need. So then they go back to the king, and the king tells them they have to pick up all of the grain, right? But they use the flute and 2 pigeons come. And the 2 pigeons they take the grain and even put it in 2 bags. And then when it's time for the king to give the gift, he tries to cheat them. He won't give it to them. So he gives them another task for them to build a bridge. And again, they do that with the help of the flute and the help of the pigeons. And then what? Then he wants to still not give them the money. But then one of them speaks up in a very self-assertive way, saying, we have a special method to work with the grain. We had a special method to work with the bridge. If you don't keep your word, we also know how to get rid of the king's privileges. So the king decides these children must have some sort of magic. I better not abuse them. And so he gives them the money, and they go home. And one final time they play the flute, and the birds come and set the food with the table with the grandparents and give plenty of food. Okay, so that is the story. I hope everyone now has it clearly in mind from Jasmina's wonderful telling, but then also from my simple telling. So now we'll invite people to go into rooms in groups of 2 or 3. What do you suggest, Jasmina?
I prefer 2 in pairs. I prefer 2, and to see. Yeah.
All right. Well, we have about 14 people with their cameras on, and another 20 with their cameras off. So I'm just going to automatically put everybody in groups of 2. If you're in a room with somebody with their camera off who's not there, come back to the main room and we'll work it out. Okay, so now breakout rooms, assign automatically. There, let's see, there are 32, so we want 16 rooms.
Wow.
Yes, you and me, Jasmina, we won't go into a room, or if we go into a room, come back and we'll
we will talk.
Yeah, we'll wait in the main room. Okay, 16 rooms. Okay, I'm going to open the rooms. I think you'll go automatically. Otherwise, just click the button to say yes, you agree to go to the room.
Jasmina, I have a doubt. Now, when we start telling the story, should we just start off, supposing I'm the king, I just start off by saying, and what do we have here, you children, what do you want? Or should I say from the beginning that once upon a time there were these children, and like that? Or how should it be?
Okay, so you have to decide as a character, as a king, Renu. You can do 2 years ago that what happened. Or you can imagine. You can be creative also by making your character.
Okay,
be free.
Thank you.
How many minutes?
Oh, I do believe that 5 minutes is enough. What do you think, Eric?
5 minutes altogether, or 5 minutes each?
Yeah, 5 minutes. No, 5 minutes altogether.
Okay, so each one gets 2 or 3 minutes. The main thing is choose the character that you want to tell from that point of view, and at least begin to tell the story from that point of view, and think of the attitude of that character. Okay, here we go. Have people? There they go. Good. Renu, are you in a group? What are you?
Eric, how?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Do we have enough time, Eric?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, who will share experience with us? Just shortly to comment. Bina Guru.
Yeah, Bina Guru from Nepal, Kathmandu, Nepal. Yeah, it was fun to listen to Radhika and Shri Karuna, and then we enacted, so I enjoyed it. I enjoyed to enact. I enacted as a king and the others as a fairy and children. So it was really enjoyable. Thank you very much. I enjoyed it immensely.
Jasmina, if I were to share, I think my experience was also because I do psychodrama with Magdalene and expressive arts therapy. I'm kind of going in deeper and telling you that my relationship, something came out for me that showed that my need for kindness or my search for kindness, it kind of seemed imminent. Also, I played the fairy, and some of the questions that Sri Karuna and Eric, they asked actually got me thinking about, my need for the show of kindness from the external world. So that's what I kind of understood about this exercise for me. It was really good. Thank you.
Yeah, I totally agree with Radhika Jasmina. She played the fairy so beautifully. And when I asked, excuse me, when I asked her the question, the reply that came from her was like full of kindness and compassion, and it was really like an eye opener. You know, that love in another form could be kindness and compassion too. So that was a beautiful moment of revelation. Yeah.
So thank you very much for sharing. I think that yes, Radhika and Bina and all of you, that it's very interesting to explore ourselves by doing those characters. Of course, during this exercise, you have to imagine parts of a story that you don't know, and to know what, for example, Fairy was doing before that, who is he, who is what king, what is his preoccupation, I don't know, hobbies, what was his intention, and so on. Maybe he's helper, maybe he's not only obstacle. But I would like to share you also my experience with Marina, and she has really long blonde gold hair, and she was a fairy, and I was a little girl, the youngest one child, and also I discovered that I really in my life now I need a fairy, and she was a fairy, and she imagined all in a sack that in fact, can I share that, Marina? Is that okay? Yes. Okay. Thank you. So she said that he has a possibility to transform herself in a pigeon. That he was that he knew all life of those children. That she was following them. That she believed that they are clever, and so on and so on. That was so nice, and it was so nice that I cried. I started to cry, really. That was so touching, and I discovered that I need that. I need that fairy to follow me. I think that maybe it would be nice to see confronting maybe a king and a child, or a king and a grandma, and so on. What king would ask a child, or a child king? That's very interesting topic. But I'll always think about time. You see, Eric, I have also watched here to remind me, besides that's on the computer. So, Eric, do we have enough time?
Well, we have about 20 minutes. Is that enough time? What do you want to do?
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. And now I realize that 1 hour is not enough for a workshop, but I was afraid to tell 90 minutes when we make agreement. Okay. If somebody wants to shortly to comment this exercise, please do it now, or we can proceed with second exercise. What do you think? I ask a group.
Second exercise.
Second exercise. Excited.
Okay. During my workshops, I like to do sounds. And sounds in this fairy tale, it's very important because it's a metaphor of faith and miracle. And I divide the group in pairs usually, and they are doing sounds like in exercise of faith, how to have faith in some other person. In what way? They are in pairs, and one person is doing producing a sound, and the other person close the eyes and follow that person through the space. They are moving through the space together, like angel guardians, because we can reflect what would happen if children didn't believe that that is a fairy tale, or that flute is not magical. In our life, maybe we are saying to us, oh, I'm really in a bad situation. I'm broke. I'm broke. I'm totally broke. Who can help me now? It's not possible. Maybe the helper, angel guardians are in our neighborhood, but we are not recognize them. We are not opened. Also, it's very important to make limits, because those children were great, but they were open-minded, but they were clever, really clever, and they confirmed and they were capable to say no to King. That's also very important. But let's come back to sounds. You can use, of course, instruments, but be free to use everything that you have in your now nearby. For example, on my work desk, I have two stones. That is a gift from my friend. It's shine. It's written shine and you rock. This is her message for me. So you can make sounds like this, or maybe you have a napkins and you can do that. Of course, I prefer to do that alive, but maybe we can in pairs do one exercise. In one of you will make some sound, maybe try to change the rhythm, and the other person can make movements, but following the sounds, not the approach, not to go further, and but just make movements in that rhythm. So be free, be open that somebody is leading you. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Just that. Just that. Do what you want, just to move. You can close your eyes. It would be nice that you close your eyes and to follow that sound, and to feel that sound in your body, and to be free to make a movement by listening that sound. Maybe you have a huge sound, and then it reflects in a huge movements or silence, or something very gentle. Okay, just be free to feel that, and be free to follow a sound. Your angel, your friend. That's all. I think that it's not complicated, but it is necessary to divide us. Also, I would kindly ask Eric to divide us once again in pairs, if it's okay with you all.
Okay, shall I open the room now?
How long, or how much time do we get, Jasmina?
Good questions. I think that 2 or 3 minutes is enough. Just
and we have to change, right? One person makes a sound, the other dances, and the other one was dancing makes a sound, and the other one dances, right?
Yeah, maybe 1 minute one person, then 1 minute or 2 minutes another person. What do you think, Eric? Is that the 4 minutes?
That's fine. That's fine. Okay, here come the rooms.
Hi.
Hi, nobody
I
came
did-
to my room.
My partner was silent. Is it the same for you?
Oh, okay. I didn't have a partner.
Yeah,
somehow.
same here. Same here. I didn't have a partner. Would you like to be my partner, Nandita?
Oh, yes, yes, David. Love.
I'm ready to dance when you play.
Yes, so I'm a new mommy, so I have all these baby stuff around me.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How
It's
old's
been
your
some
baby?
time now. 7 months now, but
Okay.
yeah, second time around.
Can I just check what we need to do? So you're going to play rhythm of, and
Yes.
I'm going to dance as the fairy. Is that right?
Yes, yes.
I'm not shy.
Oh, lovely. So I was actually trying to assess how this exercise helps. So let's do it, and then maybe we could discuss.
Okay. I can't hear it.
Oops, sorry. Okay, I think I should get something louder.
I think it's because of Zoom. Zoom blocks out sounds which are not the human voice.
Oh, yes, yes. I think my audio is has been blocked to eliminate all the...
If you set it to original sound, then I
I'll
can
do
hear
that.
your instrument. But if
I'll
it's
do
not
that.
on original sound, I can't hear it because Zoom only does the human voice. If you sing, I can dance.
The sound is audible?
Ah, yeah, I can hear three. Three, Karuna. Let me dance to three.
Some other instrument.
Can I play something now?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Here's my fairy music.
Lovely.
There we are.
Shri, you're on mute.
I was saying I have the same instrument.
Oh.
You often
Lovely.
play your umbira when you're doing storytelling, Sri Karuna.
No, I actually recently got all these instruments. I had been to a place in Aroville where there's a place called Swaram, and they do research about sound instruments. And there are some things where you get bird sounds also, like.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful instruments I got. Thought they'll help me in storytelling. Yes.
I'm a huge fan. I have a massive collection of sound instruments that I use in storytelling. But what should we talk about? Should we talk about the power of sounds or dance? What should we discuss?
I think I have to call people back to the room.
Yes. So I think her intention was to get us to maybe understand what the sounds could look like in our stories, or how things could play out in the background, and how we could move maybe while narrating. I mean, that's what I inferred.
Mhm.
I don't know what you guys
It's fantastic when you're telling stories with young children as well to use sound, but with everybody. I mean, with
Yes,
adults
with everybody.
equally. And I'm fascinated by the idea of just spontaneously moving as the character as well.
Correct.
Yeah, and I think
That's something
we can easily do with children. A bit more challenging with teenagers, unless they've bought into it. You know, it's maybe a dance club or something like this. But maybe that's different culturally. In England, if I'm with teenagers and I ask them to do dancing when I'm storytelling, I might come up with some blocks. But maybe in India, you're more open to that.
Maybe teenagers is still a difficult path to tread into to get them to move. But yeah, kids, yes, I think it'll be very nice with kids, with younger children.
I'm going to close the other room so
Yes, yes,
they'll
Eric.
come and join us.
Yes, yes, Eric. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, David. Thank you, Sri.
David.
Hello once again. Hello to you all.
Hello.
Well, of you all, I got one professional dancer, Pratibha. So Pratibha, thank you. I was enjoying looking you and listen to your music that you played. Wow. So what
Thank
was
you so
your
much.
experience?
I really enjoyed. As I said, that when I looked at you dancing so merrily, I felt like dancing myself. So, and professional dancer, you gave that name, but I have left dance since a long time. But yeah, I love dancing. Dancing is in my blood. I really am passionate about it. So thank you so much for reviving my memory.
I saw that. And I think that nothing is occasion. I believe in science. It's not just automatically. I think that everything has sense. Okay, thank you, Pratibha, once more. And I would like to hear the others if somebody wants to say something about experience. Oh, Mariana, great experience to play and to move. Hvala i tebi. Thank you, Mariana. My storyteller sisters. Ranu?
Yes. Actually, it was so interesting, Jasmina, because I think Mariana and I were together, and she used an instrument like this, and it's as though she passed it over to me because I have the same thing here. Because we do have the same instruments here in India as well. And I think you had showed us this earlier. This is also here in India. And we were wondering, how these instruments have appeared across the world. And I whistled because I had nothing here next to me. So I whistled and she danced to me when I was whistling. And then she used this and I danced to when she used this. It was fun. It was great. Lovely.
Thank you, Renu. Eric, now I read something about problems with the sound, but I do believe that now it's okay. Somebody wrote something.
David, did you say that it's best to choose that option of original computer sound?
That's right. I use sound a lot when I'm storytelling, and Zoom filters out anything that's not the human voice. So we need to put on, fix on your audio settings, your sound settings, original sound. And then the computer picks up every sound, even the sound of the dogs barking outside and the trucks. But it also picks up all the music and, the high and low notes as well.
So we want original sound off or original sound on?
Original sound on if we're playing any kind of instrument.
Okay, now I've turned the original sound on. Let's see.
Everyone needs to do it for themselves, Eric.
Oh well. Anyway, we just have a few minutes left. Jasmina, how do we go forward?
Can I ask Jasmina a question, Eric, or Jasmina?
Of course, go ahead, David.
Yes.
I really loved the spontaneity of this activity, that there was no preparation time. We were just asked to play and to dance without doing any thinking or planning. And I'm definitely going to add this to my repertoire of what I call creative response activities. Can I ask you about your experience more about doing this in groups and how people respond and what you've observed?
Thank you, David, for questions, and that that I saw your email, and I will send you a story if somebody is interested in. I would like to send you also my email, but I think that also Eric had. So your question, it's very interesting because the people free themselves. They don't have a time for preparation. Sometimes I saw people that they are accused. They are not open. They are ashamed. They are ashamed to speak. They are ashamed to move. On the beginning of the workshop, they are sitting like this and they are watching me. And they are watching me and they want to see my mistake, and that's okay. I will show you my mistake and that I can make a mistake and I can right now. So, but it's very nice that at the end of the workshop, that woman is smiling or doing a faces or a mime or something like that. Sometimes not. But some people are just immediately prepared to do that. But usually I'm not doing this as a first exercise. So we have to get to know each other, to say something to each other, to present. I let them to present themselves with a movement about, for example, show what you are, what you do in life, or what is your hobby, but in mime, without words. So this is the first little step, and so on and so on. But thank you for your question. But it is beautiful to see us and to feel myself as well free without preparation. Let it go, Babu Dhabi. And so Kitsugi, it's very interesting philosophy that when we are broken, we are beautiful, and so on and so on. So thank you for your question, really. And if we have enough time, yes, we have 2 minutes left. I would like to just say one thing, maybe like idea for your work or articulation exercises. Here in Croatia, adults, youth, and children as well don't know to articulate good words. They are accused. They are like when they go to dentist. They the whole thing, the whole mouth is frozen. So I do a lot creative articulation exercises. Of course, we already have in literature, I studied lots of tongue twisters, so-called tongue twisters exercises. Probably you know exercise like, I need a box of biscuits, box of mixed biscuits and the biscuit mixer. And now do that fast as you can. But I would like to motivate you to invent your own creative articulation exercise. For example, this Croatian story in original have some words, very old words, archaisms, that children here and adults as well don't know, don't have a clue about it. For example, pozapletala. Pozapletala, it means entangled her hair. So I imagine creative storytelling can be also workshop after storytelling. So I do with adults and the children as well. I unit motoric games with that word. So the meaning of that word is tangled. Entangled, disentangled. So I tell them to say pozapletala, zapletala, otpletala during putting their body in unusual positions. So they are in fact doing the sense of that word, and in the same time they are doing exercise with tongue twisters. Because children are not motivated to say, I need a box of biscuits, box of biscuit and a biscuit mixer. And they don't understand why we are doing that. So you are an artist, you have to create that situation that it is like a game, or that is a game also for adults. And that, for example, I do yoga. I don't know, maybe you can put your leg besides your head and so on. You can put yourself in unusual situations and put your tongue in unusual situations. And if you really tangle your tongue, it also can be comic. And we can smile if you tangle your tongue. So be creative, imagine and use fairy like something that can be your motivation for creativity and for art, because creative storytelling is not just a storytelling, just a story. It's the time before, like for example meditation, and after, and in fact you are all artists. Creative storytelling is your authentic storytelling. And okay, I just wanted to share this like example. Thank you for your time. I know that I'm telling this very fast, and that was also one new experience for me to do a workshop on Zoom on this way and not in my language. But I'm grateful for opportunity. And if you have any questions, please write to me. Poza pletala, Mariana, yes, poza pletala. Write me, ask, be free to share whatever you want, and to ask me whatever you want about drama pedagogy, about storytelling. And thank you, Eric, for this opportunity.
Thank you.
To be in Chennai and the whole world in 1 hour. Thank you all.
Thank you. And I think we all enjoyed the two activities, the one of telling the story from different points of view, from the different characters, and then playing different types of music, just like the character plays music in the story, and moving in response to that music. You told us about the articulation exercises, but that's interesting also. So thank you very much for this little introduction of a workshop in relation to storytelling. Okay, thank you very much. So now we'll take a break for 2 hours, and we have a lot more storytelling and workshops this evening, starting 2 hours from now. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.